Hello, Professor Huang. My name is James Free, and today I will be going over SPL number 1 and question number 2, the 4 steps in the decision-making process. So, the first step is to identify the problem. The second step is to collect data. The third step is to develop any solutions. And ultimately, the fourth step is to make your choice. So in the first step, you have to identify the problem and what the causes are. So let's say that you have a car that is not running. First, you have to identify why the car isn't running. Is it a bad engine? Is there no juice in the battery? Or if it's just cold and needs to be warmed up a little bit before it starts. After you identify the problem and the causes, you move on to step 2, which is collecting the data. Now, this is very important because it's any info that is helpful to understand the problem. Such as, what is it caused by? Is it a broken piston? Is it bad injectors? Or do you simply have the wrong key in the ignition? After you find out these problems, you have to find out how serious is it, and also how long it would take to replace. Because if you need your car to, let's say, go to work and you need it right away, you can't obviously leave it in a mechanic for 2-3 weeks. And if you are doing it yourself, you would have to find out the cost of the materials and also how much it would cost to hire a mechanic to fix your problem. Once you collect the data, you will then move on to step 3, and you will develop solutions, and you will also create alternatives to those solutions. So if you are crunched on time, you probably might want to leave it at a mechanic. And or if you are crunched on money, you have very tight money problems, then you probably will want to do it yourself and buy all the materials yourself and do it. Or if you are very wealthy, then you probably will buy a new car altogether. Once you identify these first 3 problems, you will want to move on to the last problem, or the last step in the decision-making process, which is ultimately making your choice. Now, this is selecting and finalizing a decision based on all the first 3 steps in the decision-making process, based on the data and your solutions and those alternatives to those solutions. Now, depending on time, cost, and labor, you would want to find out what your decision will be, depending on how much you make or how much time you have. So you would want to figure out all these things to determine what you want to do with your car, and then ultimately at the end, you would want to take action and get your car up and running.